Indian special forces have taken two multi-purpose hoists to advance to the Indian border. Pakistan on a secret mission. To make sure the action is absolutely safe, the Indian Army has also added to fighter jets 30 Maquis protective escort. However, as the commandos were about to land, when a strange unidentified plane suddenly appear and lock the target on them, the plane leading the formation immediately pull the joystick. It's almost vertical to try to lock the target onto a strange plane, but the moment is about to succeed. The enemy chooses the right time, straight into the clouds. The Indian pilot lost track. When they react, then discovered the enemy has circled the rear and is using missiles. Lock them up. However, the pilot of the lead plane remained calm, constantly changing position and rotation in the air to escape the pursuit. After successfully completing a difficult dodge, he quickly stabilized the fuselage, then counterattack with a blow, lock the missile and destroy the enemy. On the way back to the base, he didn't even forget to show off a few movement technique for below task force. Super Vietnamese control skills. This made everyone present unable to escape. Amazing, this crazy man named Patty. Best pilot of the Indian Flying Dragon Squadron. Your skills are not up to par. But as soon as he got back to the base, he was immediately attacked by Captain Gabi. You only know how to show off your skills. I forgot the focus of the mission. This time it's protecting commandos and helicopters, not chasing enemy planes. Patty was silent and did not dare to argue. Back to the room, he remembered his dead fiancée Anna, a female Air Force pilot, killed on a mission 2 years ago. That night, the comrades gathered to drink after training. Under the comforts of his teammates, Patty gradually let go of the pain in her heart. The next morning, everyone was ready to go to the assembly field combat training. But at the right time, the Indian military received reliable intelligence. A terrorist group are showing up at the border and plotting to organize a terrorist attack on the Indian interior. They are divided into two F-16 team led by top pilot. Imran is called Red Nose Commander. There is even the presence of international criminals looking for Azza. Once they successfully infiltrate, the consequences will be unimaginable. Gabi heard the news and immediately decided to cancel the training. He was prevented by his superiors. The top says the army sent the central to assist the police. The training can continue as planned. That's it. The Flying Dragon crew is ready to go. 3 colored flags flying in the sky to show sacred respect for the motherland. But no one expected that. A disaster is quietly approaching. As the Flying Dragon squadron just departed, a red van full of explosives suddenly crashed into troops of reinforcements, even though the vigilante picked up an anomaly and accelerate to dodge. But in the end, it's inevitable. The entire relief team was almost wiped out. As the Dragon squadron flew all the helicopters to the scene, the air is filled with the smell of blood. The wounded are covered in blood. The attack killed 70 Indian soldiers. The massacre immediately shocked the entire country. National Security Agency of immediately call an emergency meeting. Ask the military to investigate. We need to solve the problem and catch the person behind it. But the more shocking than the terrorist group that carried out the attack and blatantly posting provocative videos online challenged the Indian Army. The Indian Air Force immediately responded. Gabi ordered the red alert level to be raised. The whole team within an hour must appear in the control area to declare a patrol. The Western Air Force Command also. Emergency meeting to make plans. Reactions according to reliable sources. They've located the exact location of the terrorist base, explosives training center of Azza, deep in Pakistani territory, where more than 300 militants are stationed. To avoid detection by Pakistani radar, Indian Air Force dispatches 12 fighter jets. Secret Mirage comes from Wali base. At a.m. Body and his partner Taji drive to Zoo. 30 Maquis on command, escort and support duty. After an hour of flight, 12 PCS Mirage to the designated area within the territory of Pakistan. The commander immediately turns on the jammer. Stop any warning signals from the enemy. Right now, inside the terrorist base, Ra is in charge of arranging weapons. I heard the jet engines roaring overhead. The next moment, fire came down from the sky. Complete destruction of the base. Mirage Squadron. Continue your mission and prepare to retreat. Out of the wreckage, a terrorist suddenly appears. Carry a grenade launcher aimed straight at the sky. The Zoo -30. The escort immediately detects the missile and drops traps to distract. Success. Then perform the ultimate Tiger trick, carrying and launching counterattack missiles to destroy the enemy. But when 2 coins 30 prepare to retreat, Pakistan detected the intruder. Immediately sent an F-16 to intercept. The driver is Imran, their most famous elite pilot. The Indian Command Center immediately spotted the plane. Take off. Order, Mirage. Throw out the extra fuel tank and accelerate to return. Thanks to superior control techniques, all 12 Mirage to cross the safe border before an anti-aircraft missile locks the target. However, 2 Zoo 30 seconds on escort duty were in danger. Taji's plane was locked on target by an enemy missile. The alarm system goes off. Drop the trap to avoid it. But the F-16 of Imzan suddenly appeared from behind. As soon as 1,000 pounds of hair, Patty disobeyed orders to retreat from the commander, decided to turn back, out behind the F-16 and activate the missile lock system. Both sides have fallen into conflict. Patty's actively signaling a threat, forcing Imran to consider shoot each other right now. Both sides were destroyed. Finally, Imran actively unlocks the target to get 2 Zoo 30 seconds out of Pakistani airspace. Needless to say, I know this action by the Air Force India has angered Pakistan. Azza will absolutely not stop. So the two sides immediately began planning a counterattack, preparing to attack India's Srinagar airbase. When the Dragon Squadron, they're having a victory party. 4 F-16s from Pakistan have quietly taken off, heading towards the Indian airbase. Indian military radar detects signs of the fighter jets. The air defense siren immediately went off. 2 fighters, Su-30 quickly take off to fight. But I didn't expect. Just took off. The police officer discovered the situation was not right. Number of aircraft 8 troops exceeded. The border is not only 4, it's a complete flying fleet. There are 16 of them. It's heading straight for India's ammunition depot. Aware of the serious situation, the Indian commander immediately deployed 12 fighter jets, Su from a nearby base to back up. Received notification. Let team lead the battle formation. Rushed to the threatened ammunition depot at the fastest speed. But did not expect. The F-16s of the 8 troops arrived first. In a critical situation, the Indian side quickly fired surface-to-air missiles. Did not expect that. F-16 of 8 troops not only dodge flexibly, but also accurate rocket launches destroy the ground cannons. Fortunately, Indian troops have arrived on the battlefield. The leader of the 8 army found the situation unfavorable. Ordered to launch all missiles at the target. There was a loud explosion. The magazines on fire. The planes turned around and flew back to the border. India's 30 cents in close pursuit. At this point, the captain discovered to F's. Another 16 are flying towards another military base. People realize now, they've won your Lily Tiger. Military. The commander hurriedly ordered Pato and his comrade Taji together to intercept, but it's too late. 2 PCS-16 through heavy anti-aircraft fire. Accurate launch of 4 missiles. Complete destruction of Indian military bases, as 8-man planes prepare to retreat. Nests and new arrival spurs. Impotent, they just have to follow the enemy's pursuit. But right in front is the border. The command quickly issued an order to retreat. I can't believe this time the military has opened the electronic jamming system. Make Pato and Taji not get instructions. Lucky Taji. Detect abnormal spot and timely issue warning. But the B left out the dissuade. Determined to continue the pursuit, then the 2 of you act separately. 3 teams put all their strength in pursuit of enemy planes, then launch the missile, but they're distracted by the bait. The missile exploded close to the cliff. Worse, they didn't even know they crossed national boundaries. Not enough to react. 4 F-16s descend from the clouds. Siege fighter of Taji. Facial color Pato instant ray meter. I didn't expect. Because of the pull, that puts my best friend in danger. I hurried my plane to the rescue. But Taji was under heavy attack. The tail is destroyed. Su-30 plane smoking black plug top fell down. In the moment of birth and death, Taji and the Nava co-pilot quickly turned on their emergency seats, even though quietly floating in the air, and landed in Pakistani territory. Look at the fire below. Pato's heart is strangled. I urgently request the rescue command. But the captain, after returning to the base, was determined to refuse. Order me to return immediately to avoid further casualties. This battle didn't just make the Indian base heavy damage, it also left 2 pilots missing. Captain Gab couldn't contain his anger, criticizing Pato arrogantly impulsive. Sooner or later it will be a disaster for the Air Force. He was then ordered to be detained for a month. During his detention, the nightmare of a plane crash constantly haunts Pato. Facing Taji and Nava's relatives. I feel guilty, as if I want to swallow you. Not long after, Indian military court announces final verdict. Transferring Pato from the Flying Dragons. Appointed flight teacher at the Air Force Academy. Hyderabad understands its mistakes, but doesn't have any objections. A female pilot came looking for her own mate. I hope you give me another chance. But frown. You said you gave him a chance. 3 years ago, in a fight, I was ordered with my fianc. Anna escorts reinforcements to the battlefield, because the enemy's fire was too strong. Anna's helicopter couldn't reach the rendezvous point. Another thick fog in the hidden valley. Vision, support forces could not locate the enemy. In a dangerous situation, but they asked Anna to lower her altitude to find the target. We finally found the enemy fortress, but Anna's location was also revealed. Helicopter surface-to-air missiles burning violently, and fall straight to the ground. Anna dies spot with Gab. If not for Pato's blind confidence. He did not lose his beloved sister. Many years after the tragedy, he insisted on removing Pato from the squadron, avoid more unnecessary sacrifices. Not long after, Pato did to the Air Force Academy as planned. I don't take this job lightly. Wholeheartedly teaching, with solid flying skills and dedication. Quickly earned the respect of the school, the park itself. Pato also found peace, good and satisfied in this job. 40 days later, India and Pakistan agreed to exchange prisoners. If you know anything, Pato will arrive at the pickup point immediately. I want to pick up my friend personally. But did not expect. Indian Air Force just received the body of the co-pilot, Nava, even though Pakistan says he died in a parachute crash. But the wounds filled the body quietly. Denounce the savage torture you've endured. Everyone is extremely heartbroken. In the eyes of the 3 nests, burning with anger. The next day, Air Force Base holds funeral ceremony for Nava. His family's pain and tears made everyone. It hurts even more. Taji is still detained in Pakistan. Life and death unknown. Pato committed to the Taji family. I will get my friend back safely. The funeral is over. The Indian military immediately decided to send night raids on Pakistan. Rescue Taji. Meanwhile, Taji is detained by Azza. Accidentally discovered the secret of the earth. Information provider for India. It's been a spy for a long time. Do Azza plug in. Right after that, the informant informed the army that the army. India will attack tomorrow night. Ask Azza to prepare for defense. After receiving the news, the army immediately closed the sky. Developed 2 fighter squadrons and 4 missile platoons. Vertical air chamber. Order. Be prepared to intercept any incoming forces. Rapid reaction. This has left the Indian Air Force in a passive position. There's no other way to make bold plans. Send a Halo parachute assault team from 30,000 meters. In 20 minutes, we must rescue the hostages and destroy the base. To avoid military radar, India first sends L transport planes in camouflage into a Russian plane sneaking into Pakistani airspace. Two Indians do 30 seconds follow the fuselage of the transport plane, hope to hide in its giant size to enter the territory. The enemy, however, soon after. Military air defense system quickly detect abnormal signals and immediately issue a radio alert. Ask the enemy to confirm his identity immediately, or they will be shot down. In 1,000 pounds hanging hair. The Indian pilot responded in English. Noggin noggin. This is a Russian airliner from Planet Pencil. Action, strange pronunciation plus a panic tone that suddenly made the Pakistani Air Defense Command Center ignited to help the transport plane. Successfully penetrated the According airspace. To the plan, right after that, 30 Maquis fighters suddenly appeared. Precision bombing, destroying the runway of Pakistan's military airport. Give the assault team time to reach the target. On the different side, Indian special forces landing near the base of Azza. Just put my feet down. They immediately disabled the guards and used dynamite to blow up the barbed wire. Gunmen on the base. Detect something unusual. The squads in the tactical formation penetrate deep inside and destroy many enemies. Ara holds people when Indian soldiers suddenly break in. Not hands in every can. The Indians would only attack at night or SAO. The scene in the command room was immediately revealed. Secrets hidden in the fog. The man in there is a double agent. Thanks to him, the army can successfully defeat. There's no turning back. Ara grabs weapons entrenched. But oppressed. A soldier quickly pressed his hand and threw a grenade through the window. While the explosion threw the entire room into chaos, they broke the window. Go to the next room and rescue Taji. After people start retreating, the preloaded C4 series explosive immediately exploded, turning Oz's base into a leveling ground. At the right time, the rescue helicopter arrived and took Taji away safely. But no one expected that. When another helicopter is about to land, Oz, a body full of blood. Theo. Grenade launchers from the rubble. Get out and shoot down the helicopter. Immediately the rest of the soldiers died. I can only call in vain over the radio, but didn't get a response signal. Night. He ordered the fighter pilot to monitor the situation, but just finished. A Zu-30 was shot, falling like a meteorite. There's no other choice. Gabi commands for helicopter of Mini. Turn your head back, rescuing wounded soldiers on the ground. When the helicopter came back, they saw the soldiers. India is engaged in a gun battle with its armed forces. Oz's page. The helicopter just flew in, became the target of intense attacks. Even though pilot Sandy was very supportive, but the situation is still very unfavorable. Decided to launch a reserve force of Zoo assault team. 30 Maquis up support. Suddenly, I got the news that the car was empty. That's young pilot Patty. Please allow me to rescue my crew. Even willing to accept the court-martial. Despite being rejected by the commander, Gabi risked his career to secure. I sat in the driver's seat with Patty. Not long after, Patty FLIs a fighter jet into the sky. Sandy was gripped by two F-16s. A missile from the side suddenly came flying, causing Sandy's plane to burn violently. This scene set Patty on fire. You're speeding up in pursuit of an F-16 like rain. But enough, another 16 attacked from behind. The missile comes in a second. Patty promptly turned around to dodge the dangerous attack. He immediately turned the plane around, performed the Cobra upgrade God of Sorrows. Bend 180 degree, close up to the fleeing F-16 and launch the missile. The enemy gets through and drops the Dodge electronic bait, but Patty didn't give the competition a chance to rest. Keep close. Both planes were chasing each other close to the lake. Bullets from F-16 shoot out causing water to splash. Enemy missile launch Patty. Drop the fuel tank to cause an explosion, then turn around and dodge the blow and turn it upside down, until two planes soared into the sky. The situation on the ground is tense. The police force was forced into action due to lack of firepower. A wounded soldier out of hiding. Japanese weapons continued to fight, but was found beaten to the point of blood by Ozza. That's when Patty parachuted out. Suddenly appeared rush into the fight with Ozza. My anger makes me feel like a tiger. Ozza did not have time to return. They both fought from the inside out. Ozza was constantly beaten, but still aggressive, not backing down. He took the gun and fired it. Fortunately, the Indian Air Force was in time. Rain of bullets on the enemy's head. Ozza tried to drive away, but Patty jumps from tank tower to jeep. Fierce struggle in the car. Mini aerial. Immediately alert the gunner to launch a roadblock missile. Gabi also provided fire support from the ground. The enemy shoots like rain. Indian soldiers keep falling. Bullets are running out. Mini led the strike team appeared. The bullets came down like thunder and wiped out the enemy. Body and Ozza are still fighting in the car. Jeep is going crazy. Body regained the right to drive, but the car was badly damaged. In a split second, he pedals Ozza raw up GA plunge on the slanting board, and then jump up and grab hold of it. The helicopter is flying by. Ozza fell with the zip car. Burned in a sea of fire. Watching Taji be saved, Patty finally gave a relieved smile. Two people clasping hands. Life and death war end in a suffocating victory. After the victory, full of Nan, everyone safely returned to the airbase. Amid the cheers of his teammates, Gabi walked in front of Patty with tears in her eyes. I sincerely apologize and admit that I should not. You should have put more faith in her. They both hugged each other. Misunderstandings in the past disappear in that moment. At the end of the story, Patty did not hesitate to step towards the Mini. I decided to listen to my heart. Give yourself a chance to love again. The movie ends here. It's set in a border conflict between India and Pakistan. Recreate realistic and impressive battle scenes, although some of the effects are somewhat obvious. But the overall image is still impressive. Long-running aerial combat scenes. It's the same dynamic combination of sound and image created the election, dramatic and suspenseful atmosphere throughout the film. The movie is also Bollywood style. It's characterized by slow motion, CA's vibrant dance performance and exaggerated acting. It's highly entertaining. It just adds attraction to the work. If you're interested, try the original movie. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. There are still many exciting movies waiting for you in the video. Next.